Micah Parsons. According to his agent, Micah Parsons wanted to be a Cowboy. And had he not been traded to the Green Bay football team, according to the agent, Parsons would have played in the season opener, which is on Thursday night in Philadelphia. And it would not have sat out that game. That, according to the great David Mulugheta, the in-your-face agent for Micah Parsons. Now, Mulugheta contended that Parsons' first choice was always to remain in Dallas. How you feeling in Green Bay right now? You don't want to play for your team. He wants to play for the Cowboys. How's that make you feel? Quote from Mulugheta. He said, quote, "I think the most important thing is Micah wanted to be a Cowboy. He grew up cheering for the Cowboys." According to Mulugheta, he wore the blue and white at Penn State, wore it in the NFL with the Cowboys. He wanted to be a Cowboy, and we did everything we could for him to remain a Cowboy. Close quote. Cowboy up. So let us discuss the question. How does Micah Parsons' agent saying he did everything he could do to remain a Cowboy sound? How does that sound? So my thoughts on this, I've got a little doggy bag. We've got immunity and the melting pot. And we will combine all of these things together, and we are going to make some delicious shredded chicken. Barbecue shredded chickens. We're going to make outstanding. So let's begin with this. So David Mulugheta, all right, he comes out here like a whirling dervish, acting like the world's smartest man while playing the world's smallest violin. That's the vibe I got as I saw these quotes bouncing around the echo chamber, just strumming away at the world's smallest violin. It's a real sob story. It's real sad. My client, he wanted to be a cowboy. He grew up a cowboy as a little child, and he got to live his dream. And now he's been sent to Siberia in northern Wisconsin. So sad. Try to stay calm, Lorena. Try to stay calm. Of course, we know, based on years of cynical talk radio, that this is all nonsense. It is pure DC, not DC Comics. It is damage control. This is known as saving face. This is positioning Parsons as the what? As the helpless defender in distress, the victim. Because I guess we're getting a little bit away from that, but boy, for a few years there, it was wallowing in victimhood was the way to go. But it's like Parsons the victim here is what it is, right? You know, Jerry Jones, Parsons the helpless victim, and then you got Jerry Jones over here, who's cast as the bad guy with the big black Stetson hat, like every Western, Texan bad guy, get that big black Stetson hat, and it's all, of course, for what? It's for the court. Not the kangaroo court, not the real court, not the people's court. That would be the kangaroo court that is known as public opinion. So the public court, a classic agent playbook move on page 17, section A of the playbook. It's not about football. It's not about that. This is about the Q, not Qbert. That's an old video game. It's about Q rating, Madison Avenue, endorsements, all of that. You can't be the guy who forced your way out of Dallas because, listen, you got to sell merch still in Texas, and the Cowboys are a bit of a religion. They're a bit of a religion. So it's a Friday Night Lights on steroids, and the lights usually get turned out on the Cowboys mid-season. But if you're the guy who turned your back and said, I don't want to play for the Dallas Cowboys, if you're that guy, you are Judas. You are Judas if you do that. You're done in the Bible Belt. They will close the Bible and they will throw it at you, is what they will do. So don't kid yourself. Now, Parsons really wanted to stay in Dallas. If he really wanted to stay in Dallas, guess what? He could have worked it out. There was a path to stay with the Cowboys. Of course, the agent didn't want to talk about that because the agent would have been out. But in the real world, the agent represents – listen, I've had an agent. Not a good one. I'm doing overnight still. But I had an agent, all right? And this guy was a total douche, the agent that I had back in the day. And if Parsons wanted to stay with the Cowboys, he could have walked into Jerry Jones' office or sent him, I'd say a text, but I don't know that Jerry texts. But call him, right? Either call him, go to Jerry's office. Why don't you show up to Jerry's office with a nice doggy bag filled with barbecue brisket and a handshake deal. Done. Done, 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 done. That's it. You're good. But no, instead, we got this guy, Mulugheta, the agent, and I don't know the guy personally, but my default position based on my experience with people who are agents is the agent is a pus-filled sleaze bag until proven otherwise. That's my default position on the agent. They're like those mosquitoes buzzing around a Texas cattle ranch, just everywhere, and they suck every last drop of blood out of you is what they do. So Parsons, he goes from Jerry's World, the billion-dollar pigskin cathedral with the biggest scoreboard, the most beautiful cheerleaders, we're told, the Flash, the giant corn dogs they got in Texas, all that stuff, and he goes to Green Bay. Now, juxtapose Dallas and Green Bay. Green Bay, Wisconsin, and I have a brother that lives there. God only knows. He moved there. He didn't grow up there. He moved to who does that? My brother. My younger brother moved in the Green Bay area. But anyway, having been there and visited my younger brother, the nicest restaurant is Culver's. Now, I love Culver's. I think it's a great restaurant. I wish they would be an advertiser here at Fox Sports Radio. I love the cheese curds. I love the whole menu. It's like the in and out of the Midwest. But that's the top location. Now, if you want nightlife in Green Bay, you want to go out and party, get in some trouble there, there's a couple spotted cows at the Veteran of Foreign Wars Hall. There's some shows over there, so you can go to that. And that's fitting, right? And it's fitting, and here's why. Because in Dallas, Micah Parsons was a star wearing a star on the side of his helmet and all that. And in Wisconsin, he's like a farmhand. You ride the bicycles with the kids during training camp. You're out there chopping wood. You got to chop wood. There's a lot of trees in northern Wisconsin, right? You got to shovel snow off the driveway and all that stuff. It's the land of the cheese curd, the brat, and not a lot of glamour. Not the private jets. Might not be enough room there for the private jets and all that stuff. And the biggest show, you go from the biggest show in NFL football to the frozen tundra. And listen, is it a good football town? Absolutely. National fan base? Yes. Is it as big as the Cowboys? No. And it's going to be tough, though, if you want to sell, some products that you just can't sell in Green Bay. Like, I don't think hair gel sells. I don't think luxury cars sell in Green Bay. You can really get a killer deal with Johnsonville brats, though. So Micah Parsons can put on get in front of a grill and just get some Johnsonville brats, and he'll be good to go.